paper towel or anything you got. Paper's fine, cloth, anything. But I want it to be nice and dry when I put it in. And you can tell, it's still a little cold because it was in the fridge, but you can feel that it's not wet. Okay, you feel that it's cold, but that's not the same as wet. Now, this recipe calls for you to put it in with skin on, okay? So I'm going to make sure that my skin is on nice. Then I'm going to turn on a little oil in the bottom there. And I'm going to put that in there like that. I'm going to let it heat up a little bit, not long, because we don't want it to be smoking or anything like that. It's not going to make any difference. We've got some escapee here. It's here for the saute demo. There we go. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be, I know that people like to say, oh, wait till it's searingly hot. You don't have to do that. You can just put it in now. And believe me, it'll get searingly hot. Do you hear it? You're sort of sizzling in there?
Yeah.
Okay. And what that's not doing is overcooking it. And when you're browning something, there's always this tendency people have of thinking that this is brown. That brown means that you're cooking it. You're not. All you're doing is searing the skin and getting a nice little bit of color on it. Okay? And then you're getting a nice little bit of color. You're not going to get a lot, just a little. I like to turn it a lot, doesn't matter. If this were beef and I was cooking it, then that's a whole different kind of routine, okay? But when you're and if you were browning beef, you would do exactly the same thing. It says brown the beef, that's what it means. So if it sticks to the bottom of the pan, just give it a second and it will release. When it releases, turn it over. But see that color? That's brown. Oh, a lot of people think that's not brown. This is brown. No, that's cooked. We're not cooking it. When it calls for something to be browned, usually because we're about to put it in something liquid. We're about to put it in a big pot with all kinds of herbs and spices and liquids and stuff, and we just want it to be brown for color and to sear the skin so that things can go inside it, but they don't affect the color on the top, okay? And sometimes I don't even brown things anymore because sometimes all they want with the browning is for people to know that it's meat. Well, who doesn't know this isn't chicken? And if I cook this chicken in a crock pot with tomato sauce and onions and all kinds of things for 4 hours, what do you think it's going to look like? It's still going to look like chicken. You know what I mean? So sometimes browning's necessary and sometimes it's not. It's very common in French cooking, and that's because they want to keep that skin. So they want that skin to get seared on the top. And when it gets seared, the fat from the skin, in a chicken is very little, goes down into the meat. And that's a good thing for chicken, because chicken needs all the help it can get. When you do this with a duck, and you don't brown the duck, you sear, you slice the skin, and then you put it slowly down because you want to get all that fat that's underneath the skin out of the duck. But that's a different thing. Browning is exactly this. It's not brown. It's almost like a little golden brown, and that's it. Got it? Okay. So now I can have you each do a piece of chicken if you like.